I'm Tom Busby, CNBC.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH Plus. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
I work for a Fortune 500 company. I've been exposing sensitive business documents for over 15 years. Some share vital information for money, others to expose wrongdoing. My reasons are different. Why do I do it? I need to print stuff, and sometimes I forget to pick it up. Is that so wrong?
Unattended documents can make your printer one of your company's greatest security risks. Learn how to gain control of document security at nuance.com/gain control.
We know you're there. We can hear you talking on AM 1050 KCAA.
Good afternoon. It's 12:02. I'm Di Rice with the only live local news here in the Inland Empire on KCAA 1050 AM. Voters will make some important decisions in today's municipal election in Riverside. Topping the ballot is an initiative that could overturn the city's ban on medical marijuana dispensaries. It reached the June 2nd ballot after a signature gathering campaign. If approved by voters, it could conflict with a state Supreme Court decision upholding the city's dispensary ban from 2007. A poll commissioned by the city of Riverside earlier this year found that 2/3 of those questioned oppose legalizing marijuana dispensaries. If approved, a small number would be allowed in areas of the city zoned for commercial and industrial use. And all residences and businesses in the southwest area of Riverside County must adhere to stricter restrictions on water use in the aftermath of the governor's executive order for mandatory reductions. Elsinore Valley Municipal Water District last week became the latest among the southwest region's 3 agencies that pipe water directly to users to declare Stage 4A mandatory water restrictions, which take effect this week. In Elsinore Valley, sprinklers will be limited to 2 days per week from 6 to 6, and properties with addresses ending in odd numbers can only use water on Mondays and Thursdays, and those ending in even numbers are limited to Tuesdays and Fridays. The district is prohibiting washing down sidewalks, driveways, runoff from landscaping, and vehicle washing at home. In addition to being prohibited from watering within 48 hours after a rain, residents will not be allowed to water on windy days either. Restaurants will serve drinking water only by customer request, and hotels and motels will only be allowed to change towels and bed linens only when asked by guests. Inland Empire weather, sunny and nice today. Highs expected to reach about 81. We are already at that right now, so possibly onto a warmer temperature today. Looking at your traffic conditions, you've got an accident going through Chino Hills on the 71. That's on the northbound side, just past the 83. Butterfield Ranch Road, that is blocked, so there's an accident on the shoulder there of the 71. Also, we have an accident on the shoulder going through Ontario on the 15 northbound just past Highway 60. There is stop-and-go traffic on the opposing side, right around Limonite Avenue, and then stop-and-go on the 15 northbound between 60 and Harupa. And it looks like that's about it. The South 10 is... The South 15, rather, is slow between the 10 and the 60 freeway. That is the very latest with weather, traffic, and news on the station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM.
Something's in our blood that doesn't belong there. It's man-made and can attack key organs. Join me, Elaine McFadden, host Smart Health Talk, this Sunday, 9 o'clock a.m. as top expert reveals, right here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
sacrifice, determination.
You can be intentional about your character, your work ethic.
You've got to be on the same page.
Today we're calling to let you know we are debt-free, house and everything.
You have done really, really, really good. And you're not going to quit now.
It's been a huge witness for us to be able to share that.
It was time to get serious.
Intentionality, people. Celebrate the success.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
This is your show, America.
If I knew at 22 what I know now, our life would be better off.
It's the show that's changing the world. Now you don't just listen to the show, you live. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Dave Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. This is your show, America. It's your show because it's about you. You are the subject. The phone number, if you want to talk, is 888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. Steve is in Louisville, Kentucky. Hi, Steve. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for taking my call, and I wish I had time to thank you for everything else you've done.
Well, thank you, sir. How can I help?
I am 49. My wife is close to that age. We both are maxing out Roths.
Good.
And about 3 years ago, I took a pension, and then I just heard recently where you recommend that you cash out your pension and just reinvest it, which I obviously did not do. I am working full-time, 50 or 60 hours a week. My question is, with us maxing out the Roths, we're trying to catch up on our retirements because we didn't start till late. And at this age in our life, I also just refinanced my house on a 10-year. We are paying it at a rate it should pay off in 6 or just over 6 years. Should I continue with the additional retirement investments, or would you go ahead and pay the house off?
Both. But what is your household income?
Right at 100.
Okay. All right. And you have no other debt other than your home?
That's correct.
And you have your emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses separate from this discussion?
That's correct.
Okay, good. Then that brings us to what we call baby step 4, putting 15% of your household income into retirement. Baby steps 4, 5, and 6 we do simultaneously. So that's 15% going into retirement. If there's kids' college, that's baby step 5. We save for college, depending on what's going on there, how much or how little or nothing. And then baby step 6 is you simultaneously pay extra on the house. Now, you have your house already on a 10-year. You're 47, you said. So at 57, the house is paid for no matter what we do, right?
Right.
Okay, that's good. That's not a bad thing at all. But what I would do is say you need to be putting $15,000 a year into retirement. Now, you can do a couple of Roth IRAs, $5,500 each, so that'd be $11,000 if you did that, right? And in a couple of years, you can bump that to $6,500 if you wanted to. When you turn 50, you can add an extra $1,000 to that if the laws don't change by then. But for now, that's what you could do. Are you putting anything in addition to those 2 Roths into retirement right now?
My wife has one through her work. She has a matching 4%, and she's matching that.
Okay. And how much does she make?
She filed taxes last year on 37.
Okay. So that's $1,600. Is that right? Did I do that right? I must have. Let's see here. 37,000. I'm going to put it in the calculator. Just $1,480 is 4% of her income that she put in.
That sounds about right.
Okay,
yeah.
So we'll round that up. Let's call it $1,500, and you were already at 11, and so that puts us at 12.5. Our goal was 15, so you're pretty close. I would do that. If you want to put a little bit more aside, that's fine, but you're doing all right. If you do those 2 things, plus you've already got your pension already done, and if, you could go back and revisit that and ask them if you still have the option to roll it to an IRA. That's a separate discussion, really, from your question, but you could go back and do that. But, yeah, I mean, if you're putting somewhere close to 15%, you're getting pretty close, putting 15% of your income away for retirement, everything else going to the house. You have kids' college savings for?
No, they're grown and gone.
Good. Okay, that's awesome in so many ways.
It's good.
Yeah,
It's real good.
It's good in so many ways. So, yeah, I think you're on track. If you keep doing what you're doing and keep throwing extra at the house is done. Now, when the house is done, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to max out everything. By the way, when you turn 50, I'd go ahead and take that bump up in Roth to $6,500 that you both can do. That gets us to $13,000 plus $1,500, which is $14,500. If your income doesn't increase between now and then, that's getting you real close to 15%. And so, yeah, go ahead and be sure you catch that extra Roth money. But then when the house is paid off, we're going to have to just start buying some mutual funds or maxing out her completely, whatever they'll let her put into her retirement at her place, and then just start saving like a crazy person in general, investing like a crazy person in general. David is with us in Orlando, Florida. Hi, David. How are you?
Great, David. Thank you so much for taking my call. I really appreciate everything you do, and thank you so much for all your help.
Well, thank you. How can I help today?
Okay. My wife and I do our tithe, but we actually take a Jewish perspective towards it.
Okay.
Which is kind of a little bit of a different plan. We do baby step 5 and 6, but we have not done baby step 4 since 2008 due to my wife's disability.
Mm-hmm.
We just got a phone call from our attorney that one of our disability carriers has denied our claim.
Mm-hmm.
And they had been paying for the past 5 years, and it's going to make a 22% hit on our gross income, and now I don't know what to do about everything we've been doing for step 5 and step 6.
So they're questioning whether she's disabled?
No. My wife had several policies. As she grew through her career, she had own occupation policies.
Mm-hmm.
Then one of the policies she had through our company that we owned, which was an any occupation policy.
Right.
They've been paying for the past 5 years. Now they're saying that there is a job that she can do.
Oh, I see.
Because she can do the job, therefore we're no longer going to cover you. We actually are disputing that, but the plan is anywhere between 6 and 36 months for us to actually fight that battle. Plus, it's going to cost us a bunch of medical reevaluations as well as legal.
What is the nature of her disability?
It's threefold. It started out as Crohn's disease that was misdiagnosed. They gave her way too much prednisone to try and cure it for 3 years. She ended up 9 years later with a really bad fibromyalgia. And about a year ago, she was finally diagnosed with lupus, which was induced by the Remicade that she was taking to help cure or help alleviate the Crohn's disease.
Wow, I did not know there was a side effect of that. Wow.
Yes, it's not uncommon, but we're seeing more and more of it. My wife was on Remicade for 12 years. So they're only beginning to discover more of these diseases that are coming.
So what's your question today then?
So my question is, what do I do about step 4? We haven't been able to do because we have no earned income. So I'm not concerned about step 4.
So you don't earn an income?
I am not. We decided that I would not go back to work. We've actually decided to volunteer, and we're garden ad litems. We adopted a little girl in foster care, which you met last year.
And so you're living off of her disability, or what?
Yes, we've been more than comfortable living off of her disability.
That may be changing, I guess. Sounds like you're probably going to have to re-engage in a career. You sound like you're young. Talking to you on the phone, you don't sound like you're 70. So that may be part of the equation. Ouch.
Check us out on Instagram, where you can watch videos, see pictures, and listen to audio of all your favorite KCAA shows. That
is everywhere. And identity thieves are thinking up new ways to steal it. Without ID theft protection, you could spend hundreds of hours trying to get your life back. For a few dollars a month, Xander ID Theft Solutions can provide you peace of mind. Xander has a 100% recovery rate and offers the most affordable and comprehensive plans, covering all types of ID theft. From financial fraud to medical fraud, Xander has you covered and will do all the cleanup work for you. Visit XanderINS.com or call 1-800-356-4282.
This is KCAA.
Bob Vila here with my home improvement tip of the day. Medium density fiberboard, MDF for short, can be a cheaper, more stable alternative to plywood if used in the right way. MDF is made from wood scraps that are broken down into fine fibers, mixed with binders such as glue, then formed into sheets using high temperature and pressure. Most home centers carry 4x8 sheets, usually 1/2 or 3/4 inch thick. MDF is often a bit less expensive than plywood. It holds its shape and you can use it for shelving, cabinets, trim, and moldings. It's best for interior projects since it doesn't like moisture. One important caveat, though, MDF contains formaldehyde, a suspected carcinogen, so you'll need to wear a respirator when cutting it, and until it's properly sealed with paint or urethane, it continues to emit toxic fumes. That being said, if you take proper precautions when working with it, MDF can save you money and reward you with good results. Get more info at bobvila.com and right here at home with me, Bob Vila.
Discover the wonders from the land down under at the Australian Outback San Diego Zoo's latest exhibit. Here you'll encounter wombats, wallabies, kookaburras, cockatoos, and koalas. You'll be at eye level with 7 different marsupials, and you may even encounter koala joeys on their moms' backs. San Diego Zoo's Australian Outback is also home to 25 colorful bird species. Watch these beautiful creatures in the land down under. The new Australian Outback at San Diego Zoo. For more information, go to SanDiegozoo.org.
If you can't seem to stay ahead of your bills, then this message is for you. How would you like to have a large portion of your credit card debt, medical bills, and department store debt forgiven? National Credit Card Relief would like to give you free information on a proven debt forgiveness program. This program has been used by thousands to legally forgive millions in unsecured debt. It's not bankruptcy. It's not consolidation. This special program actually wipes clean the portion of your debt that is forgiven from what you owe your creditors. Call for free information and get all your questions answered in the first free call. The more you owe, the more you can save. If you have at least $10,000 or more in credit card bills, this debt forgiveness program can be very effective. Call for free information and find out more now. 800-546-2909. There is no cost or obligation for the information. Don't wait. Call 800-546-2909. That's 800-546-2909. Get your debt problem solved. Call 800-546-2909 today.
Listen to AM 1050 KCAA. It makes people wonder what you're up to.
One of the things I'm most proud of these days is all of the wonderful work our Ramsey personalities are doing. Chris Brown's radio show launched this week on the Christian radio space. Chris Hogan is becoming America's voice on retirement. Christy Wright is out there speaking all over America on leadership and on life balance, and man, has really got some things coming that are going to blow you guys' mind. My daughter Rachel Cruz and I, last year at this time, had a #1 New York Times bestselling book, Smart Money, Smart Kids. And we've now made that into a new class, a brand new class for parents. The Smart Money, Smart Kids class is a 6-lesson video-based study where Rachel and I equip you parents to teach your kids the key principles of money management and character building. Now, it doesn't matter if you got a toddler or a teenager, you have to teach them about money. And if you want them to be successful adults, and this class is the best thing that we've ever had to do that. You can experience the class with a group, or you can get started at home. It's a multi-layered class. A lot of our classes, you just go to a video and then have a discussion. This one is multi-layered and changes around completely off of that. And so It's very, very cool. Rachel teaches the majority of the lessons. I'm in a few of them. But it's about teaching your kids how to work, how to save, how to give, how to spend. It's about teaching them about contentment. And so go to Smart Money Smart Kids. You can get a free trial on the class at smartmoneysmartkids.com, smartmoneysmartkids.com, and jump in there and, teach your kids how to handle money. Listen, if you don't teach your kids how to handle money, you're not parenting. Because as you teach your kids how to handle money, you're teaching them all these other life lessons. You don't teach your kid how to work. You're just raising another one of these people who all they know how to do is protest. So here's an idea. Teach them to work. They ain't got time to protest. Teach them to work. That's a good dad. That's a good mom. That young man, that young woman knows how to work. Show up early. Work while they're there. Smile, take a bath, comb your hair. It's an amazing advantage that you have in life if you can do that. Teach them to work. See, that's character, isn't it? There's a lot of stuff built into that. I mean, so how many of you guys out there, the best times you had with your dad were one of two things: fishing and hunting, or working on a project? That's how dads and sons often bond. Is around those two things. If you had a dad, if you grew up with a dad in your house, you likely connected with your dad around work or around fishing and hunting. Something like that. I mean, it might have been playing the cello, but not in most houses. So, really. So, teach your kids to work. See, that's just one of the lessons. That's the first lesson, as a matter of fact, in this class. Listen, you don't teach your kid to work, let me tell you where they'll live. In your basement. And let me tell you, an eagle that doesn't leave the nest eventually is called a turkey. So we have to teach them how to fly and be free. And it's sad. They leave and you cry for about 10 seconds, and then you start laughing and dancing around the house. They're gone! They're gone! One down! Kevin's with us in Cincinnati. Hey, Kevin, how are you?
I'm laughing with you, brother.
What's
thank
up?
you for taking my call.
Sure. How can I help?
I've got a 15-year mortgage. It's 875, I think.
Wow.
I'm trying to pay that off really quick. And, I pay an extra $50, $60 a month on premium.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's a payment of $850 a month.
Wow.
So I pay an extra $50. And I'm just trying to see how much is this going to cut off, and is there any other things that I can do to do it faster?
No, faster is just more. I mean, pay more, it goes faster. It's not any harder than that. There's no trick to it. There's no, sometimes you see these stupid things on the internet. I'll pull up a website, and it's like, mortgage acceleration trick that only the rich know. Well, what that is scam. The only mortgage acceleration trick there is pay extra on it. That's the only one that really works.
Okay.
Man, you got 2.75 fixed rate?
Yes.
Wow, you nailed it.
15-year. Yeah.
You nailed it at the bottom, man. You called a bottom run there. Good for you.
We paid off this house I use as a rental. We paid off. It's a long story. I nearly got divorced, and so we paid off our house. And I tell you what, being payment free on my house, the house I rent is great right now, but being payment free is so free.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So what is the balance? What's the balance on the mortgage we're discussing?
$75,000.
Okay, and your household income's what?
Between both of us, about 90.
Okay. So how long do you think it's going to take you to pay it off?
I would like to pay it off next week if I could, but
no, I mean, mathematically, how long do you think it's going to take you? How long?
I'd love to pay it off in 7 years.
Oh yeah, you ought to be able to do that. That's $10,000 a year out of your 90.
Right.
Yeah,
and it's it's an
wait a minute, your payment is $800. You said, right?
$850. Yeah.
Well, that's almost going to pay it off.
And everything. That's taxes. Taxes are very expensive.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think you could probably pay it off in half that time if you really rolled up your sleeves and threw some extra at it. But it's pretty simple. I mean, you can jump on with one of the online calculators. I think there's actually one on our site that you just calculate your payment and just say, okay, $75,000 at 2 3/4% interest rate, and what would my payment need to be at 5 years, 60 months, okay? And just put that in, and then look at that versus your actual principal and interest payment, not the taxes and insurance, and the difference is how much you'd need to pay every month to make that happen.
Okay.
And that's the way you can you can look at a couple of different scenarios and go, okay, if I put $200 on here extra, this is what it's going to do. If I put $300 on here, this is what it's going to do. If I put $400 on there, that's what it's going to do, and so on. And that's how you can figure it out. But I think you can probably do it in about 2 or 3 years, really. I mean, 3 years is $25,000 a year. That's $2,000 a month. That's pretty aggressive. And you could be debt free in 3 years, making $90,000. If you don't have any other deep bills, and it sounds like you don't. Katie's in Traverse City, Michigan. Hi, Katie. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I have a question about a whole life policy. My husband's parents purchased it for him, I think, when he was born.
Oh,
and
that's sweet.
Yeah, they were paying the cost of it up until, I think, a few years ago, and they kind of handed it over to us.
Oh.
And I was wondering about, we do have one car that we owe money on and also my student loans, and I'm wondering if it would be smart of us to cash it out to pay down that debt.
Yeah, it's a piece of crap.
How I would go about doing that.
Yeah, it's a piece of crap. I'd cash it out and use the cash value to where you're getting a good rate of return on it. Now, before you do cancel the policy, you need to make sure you've got good term insurance in place.
We do. We both have term insurance.
How much?
Term life insurance. My husband has about, I think, $750,000, and I think I have $250,000.
And what does your husband make a year?
He makes about, I would say, maybe $90,000.
Okay, he's a little underinsured. I want him to have 10 to 12 times his income on him in life insurance, and you to have the same. And once you've got that, then yes, I would cash out the whole life. All you do is just call them up and tell them to close it, and they may balk and give you a hard time. You may have to write them a letter and say, cash it, close it, send us some money, send us money.
I did call to ask how much we would get if we cashed it out, and for some reason they told me, because when we get the statement, it says that we have about $8,000 in there or something like that. They said that if we cashed it out, we would only get about $2,000.
Well, it's possible that they're showing two different numbers. One that's the cash surrender value, which is what you'd actually get, and the other is just a bogus number that they use to jack things up. You never really get your hands on that number.
Right.
But, so it's possible that they're giving you accurate information. I'm going to guess and say it's about a $10,000 face policy, maybe a $15,000 face policy, in which case $2,000 is probably fairly close. Which means that your parent-in-laws, bless their sweethearts, have been completely ripped off since your husband was born, buying this crappy policy. So, yeah, get the proper term insurance in place and cash it out. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
This is KCAA.
California headline news. California is getting ready for wildfire season. Caltrans crews already out there clearing brush and weeds across the state near roadways in order to prevent wildfires.
Mowing, doing weed eating along shoulders. We've already sprayed earlier this spring.
That's Public Information Officer Steve Nelson. He says more than 400 workers are in his district of 11 counties in Northern California alone out there doing fire mitigation work. The state now keeping track of how much water we're using. As of June 1st, agencies across the state have to report conservation numbers as required by the governor's water-cutting executive order. Rob Roscoe with the Sacramento Suburban Water District says many agencies are adding conservation patrols to talk to water users.
Did you know we're down to 2 days a week now instead of 3 days a week? And did you know that your watering days were Tuesday, Saturday, or Wednesday, Sunday? Nobody in our district should be watering on Monday, Thursday, or Friday.
Geico weather, mostly clear skies, no rain in the forecast. I'm John Gilliland, California Headline News.
Here's a crazy idea from Cash Call Mortgage. Take the mortgage you closed in the last year and look at redoing it at today's 15-year fixed 2.875% rate and APR with no closing costs. Just call 877-890-CASH, and with no cost or obligation, we'll tell you how much your payment could drop with the do-over refi. And you won't pay any points, deposits, or fees. None. It's so easy. Just do the regular paperwork, most of which you already did for your last refi, and we'll do the rest. So make the cash call at 877-890-CASH for today's 15-year fixed 2.875% rate and APR with absolutely no closing costs. The do-over refi, only from Cash Call Mortgage. Call 877-890-CASH and see for yourself.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. Equal Housing Lender. Call 866-900-8744 for terms and restrictions. Rates may change without notice. California Department of Business Oversight. Residential Mortgage Lender Law License 4131083. NMLS 128231.
That's 877-890-CASH.
Here's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. I'm Di Rice. This Saturday, there's a host of events going on in Riverside. You can start off your morning with the Hope Walkathon Preventing Child Abuse. Hope promotes the safety of children through community awareness, education, and victim services. To register, volunteer, or for more info, Google Riverside Hope Walkathon. From 2 to 3, you're invited to enjoy a free synchronized swimming water show at Riverside Aquatics Complex at Riverside Community College. Have some fun at Casino Night at Canyon Crest Town Center. The afternoon starts off with an early dinner, and casino play begins from 6 and goes till 10. Other entertainment includes the Clean Comedy Fest hosted by Eric Blake at the Power of Faith Christian Worship Center. Tickets are $10 and doors open at 6:30. For more information on any of these events, go to riversideca.gov/calendar. And that's a look at the community calendar on KCAA 1050 AM.
If you can't seem to stay ahead of your bills, then this message is for you. How would you like to have a large portion of your credit card debt, medical bills, and department store debt forgiven? National Credit Card Relief would like to give you free information on a proven debt forgiveness program. This program has been used by thousands to legally forgive millions in unsecured debt. It's not bankruptcy. It's not consolidation. This special program actually wipes clean the portion of your debt that is forgiven from what you owe your creditors. Call for free information and get all your questions answered in the first free call. The more you owe, the more you can save. If you have at least $10,000 or more in credit card bills, this debt forgiveness program can be very effective. Call for free information and find out more now. 800-546-2909. There is no cost or obligation for the information. Don't wait. Call 800-546-2909. That's 800-546-2909. Get your debt problem solved. Call 800-546-2909 today.
Are you particular about the vitamins and supplements you take? Have you found that the big chain stores simply don't have what you need? Then you should know about the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. You'll find rock-bottom prices on gourmet, top-quality vitamins and mineral supplements at the Vitamin Center. Get 30% off on all supplements and homeopathic products. All, not just selected merchandise. In addition, you'll find 30% off on all cosmetics, soaps, shampoos, toothpaste, makeup, hair coloring, and lip gloss. And all tea products are discounted 20%. Why go anywhere else? See for yourself at the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills, 5007 Canaan Road in Agora Hills. Or check out the savings and place your order online, VitaminCenterAgoraHills.com. Start saving by getting what you need from the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. And tell a friend that the Vitamin Center ships nationwide. Call 818-707-0005. That's 818-707-0005. The Vitamin Center of Agora Hills.
Who needs friends or Facebook when you have KCAA's Rant Line? You can get it all out at 909-353-1050 with no interruptions. Do you want to tell us how much you're learning from Dave Ramsey?
Keep your expenses down when you're a student.
Maybe you stink. You can't take a shower at your place and you really need to.
Work down there at the largest online retailer in the United States, and they had me unloading them trucks, and I sure need a shower.
Perhaps you're having money issues.
Motel 6 detector rates up. It used to be like $42. Now they're up to $59. Got about $4,000 in the bank, but working part-time, I don't want to whittle into that. Might need it later.
Whatever you need to get off your chest, we are here for you. Give us a call on the Rant Line at 909-353-1050 and rant. We'll listen, we won't interrupt, and we may even play your rant on this station that leaves no listener behind. KCAA 1050 AM.
Ramsey Solutions headquarters. Jonathan and Maria are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Awesome.
We are doing great, David. It's great to be here. Great day.
We're honored to have you, man. Very fun. So you're here to do your debt-free scream.
Yes, sir.
Where do you live?
We live in Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh, cool. Okay, so what, 2-3 hour drive?
You got it.
Yeah, cool. And beautiful area up there, obviously. So how much debt have you paid off?
$76,000.
I love it. And how long did that take you?
21 months.
Very good. Making what kind of money?
Started off around 95 and ended up at 115.
Wow, good for you guys. Nice raises. So what do you guys do for a living?
I'm a nurse.
And I work in recruitment and admissions at a university.
Very cool. Good for you guys. So what kind of debt was this $76,000?
This was our house.
It was your house?
Our house.
All gone.
Modest house. Okay.
Well,
Wow.
our journey actually started 3.5 years ago, and we ended up saving 50% down.
Oh, not so modest house. Okay. Wow.
We took FPU right before we got married when we were engaged. And really a big part of our journey was as we took FPU thinking about, what was going to be important to us while we're married. And one of those things was possibly Maria staying home. And so that became our why through this journey of saving 50% and then paying off the other half.
I love it. I love it. Very cool. And so the house is worth $100,500, $200,500?
It's about $155.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Very cool. Good for you guys. And so this was your only debt ever while being married?
Yeah.
Yes, I had a $20,000 student loan I had paid off before we got married a few years ago, and that's the only debt we had.
And how long have you been married now?
3.5 years.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. And little Jacob comes along. I met him at the commercial break, and he's how old?
16 months.
16 months. Very fun. So are you planning to come home then? Is that the game plan still?
That's still the game plan.
That's the game plan. It's going to be happening hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Good for you. Very cool. Taking a big pay cut.
Yes.
As it should be. That's perfect. This is neat, you guys. And you're how old?
I'm 28.
And I'm 31.
And you have a paid-for house.
Yep.
You're so weird.
It feels great. It feels
You guys
great.
are officially weird. I mean, y'all, you don't have any idea. I mean, it's like we just captured a unicorn right here. This is so rare. 30-year-olds with paid-for houses.
Pretty awesome.
This
It's a
is,
great
I mean,
feeling.
we like collect them around here. My goodness. This is awesome. I mean, who does this? You do. Yeah.
Yep.
I love it. I mean, have people have any idea? Do your friends have any idea?
Well, I think so. A few of our friends do, and we have a few friends and family that are watching today. But I think some people are probably going to be a little surprised. Yes, that we have actually paid off our house. I've already had a few comments from some friends and family.
So they're not surprised that you're fiscally irresponsible, also known as cheap.
Yeah.
They knew that already.
Yeah. So we're still driving a '97 Honda Civic, and I've gotten plenty of questions about why we still have that car.
Yeah, because it's paid for, stupid.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the answer. Wow, I love it. Yeah! You guys are fun! I mean, you have lived like no one else. Now you're going to get to live like no one else.
Yep.
And give like no one else. And you get to make choices. When you're not broke, you get to make choices.
Yep.
You really
awesome.
do. And you'll be able to drive whatever you want to drive. I mean, my goodness, you make plenty of money. You don't even have a house payment. Did anybody tell you you don't have a house payment? You don't have a house payment.
It feels great. Dave, it was hard for me. I had a Ford Explorer before we got married, and so she had the Honda Civic. We got a new car, and so I loved that Ford Explorer, but it has been so worth it to be driving the '97 Civic and just have a paid-for house and have these options. That's awesome.
And, you know, the good news is you're not driving that thing forever. It's just for a period of time. You can drive whatever you want to drive now.
Yep.
Man, this is so cool. Congratulations, you two. What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
I'd say just persistence and having a goal and having like the reason why you're doing it. And then also, honestly, as much as I hate it, having that budget and using the envelope system. I was not a cash user before we got married.
And you were not a budgeter?
No, not at all. And so that was a big change for me. But honestly, like when...
So what was the worst thing you've ever done with the budget during this 21 months? Did you mess it up big time? At least once. Tell me you're human, because you're like pretty and cute and everything's nice, and y'all are just too perfect. So tell me you messed up once.
I think the biggest part we had some issues with at the very beginning was the groceries, because I think like right when we got married, it took us a couple months to get the budget.
So Jonathan didn't want y'all to eat. That's what it was.
He was starving us.
I actually do all the groceries now, so.
He does.
Oh, no! The ultimate control freak nerd. Yes, I love it. You guys are fun. So, Maria, you just said, that's it. Heck with it. You're not griping at me anymore. You go do it.
Yep, I did. I said, I want to stay home. If this is what we have to do, then this is what we have to do. Yep.
Y'all are great. That's fun. Oh, well, thank you guys for sharing, because you're inspiring people. I mean, people my age are sitting there listening, hoping their kids are listening and watching you, and your friends your peers are watching, and you're telling them this can be done. Mm-hmm. But you're not driving a $32,000 car that's got a lease on it. You haven't kept your student loan around like it's a pet. I mean, you've done the hard work. You've rolled up your sleeves. We're joking around about it, but it is a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
It really is. It's very hard.
It was hard work.
And
sure.
But you're there. You don't even have a house payment. Guys, I'm talking to people that don't have a house payment. This is so cool. All right, neat. All right, Jonathan and Maria and Jacob, Lexington, Kentucky, $76,000 paid off in 21 months, making $95,000 to $115,000. Expect a newer car that's paid for. Expect a pay cut because Maria's coming home to be with Jacob. Count it down. Let's hear a great debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
I love it. 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 Fabulous. Very well done, you guys. Man, that's just awesome. Absolutely awesome. Way to go. That is so fun. Man, that's good stuff. These Smart Money live events that we're doing is where we walk you out of debt and into wealth and into a position of extreme levels, outrageous levels of generosity. And that's why I get so fired up about doing these Smart Money events. Chris Hogan and I will be doing those this fall. And we'll be in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on September 17th, in Atlanta, Georgia, September 24th, Nashville, hometown, at the Grand Ole Opry on October the 8th, and Oklahoma City, November the 5th, Louisville, Kentucky, November the 17th. And get your tickets at DaveRamsey.com. By the way, also, while we're out there doing those, we're going to be doing Entree Leadership one-day events for those of you that are on leadership. And Christy Wright will be joining Chris and I at those events. And so Chris Hogan, Christy Wright, Dave Ramsey, Atlanta, Georgia, September 23rd at the Fox Theater, Los Angeles, October 15th at the Crossroads Christian Church, Denver, Colorado, October 23rd at the Belco Theater, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, November the 4th at Crossings Community Church, and Louisville, Kentucky, November 16th at Southeast Christian Church. And, of course, that event, the Entree Leadership event, is based on our #1 New York Times bestselling book, Entree Leadership. And it's about how to run and how to grow a business the way we've run and grown this business from a card table in my living room to where we are today. So check that out. Check out the Smart Money events. The Smart Conference, the day-long event, will, in the fall, be back-to-back weekends. October 17th, Phoenix, Arizona. October 24th, Denver, Colorado. Those tickets are selling very, very briskly. So if you're wanting to go to one of those big Smart conferences in the fall, I would suggest Phoenix and Denver. Either one of those locations are great locations, regardless of where you're flying in from or whatever. Those are big events. There's 6,000-7,000 people, and they always sell out way early. These two are selling, well, unusually fast. Let's just say it that way. DaveRamsey.com for all live event ticket information. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Desperate? Nothing to do? Just like some abuse?
Oh, God!
Well, then tune into The Poor Man weekdays at 2 p.m. on KCAA 1050 AM.
This is KCAA.
Like to spend a few days in another world? Then write this down. Golden Bear Cottages, Big Bear Lake. Now, listen, this is not some corporate-owned operation. It's family-owned and operated by some real nice people. Unique? Oh, you bet. Golden Bear Cottages features 28 one-of-a-kind cabins on a 5-acre historic site. Great for families, couples, and groups. And cabins are available with 1 to 7 bedrooms. Golden Bear Cottages is just a stone's throw from Big Bear Lake and super close to 3 great ski areas. Now, I could go on all day about Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear, but to see everything, just go to goldenbear.net. Again, goldenbear.net. Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear. Clean, comfortable, and affordable. Check them out. goldenbear.net.
Hi, I'm Michelle Skeen, psychologist, author, and host of Relationships 2.0. On my radio show, I interview guests who present their unique perspectives and expertise on topics that cover all aspects of relationship. If you want to improve your relationship, and let's face it, we all have room for improvement, tune in to Relationships 2.0 with Dr. Michelle Skeen. If you miss my show or you're interested in listening to past podcasts, you can go to my website, www.michelleskeen.com. Again, www.michelleskeen.com. Tune in and improve your relationships.
What have I learned so far? I've learned that there is no one path right for everyone. I've learned that without my high school diploma, I can only do so much. My options were limited. I found a free personalized learning program with Learn for Life that has a flexible schedule so I could keep my job while earning my high school diploma. I found new career training opportunities that would jumpstart my future. What have I learned so far? I've learned that I can change my life.
Are you 14 to 19 years old and looking for a free high school diploma program with flexible meeting times? This program allows you to keep your job or important family responsibilities while earning your high school diploma. If you've fallen behind on credits or dropped out of school completely, get back on track with free tutoring, a caring faculty, and one-on-one attention. For more information on how to reach your graduation goal, visit learnforlife.org. That's LEARN4LIFE.org. Or enroll today by calling 877-360-LEARN. That's 877-360-LEARN.
If you're like most, your trust in traditional financial advice has taken a big hit in the last few years. So when it comes to your money, investment, and retirement planning, where do you turn now? Who do you listen to? Join us for Smart Money Talk Radio, Mondays from 3 to 4 p.m. for the refreshing, straightforward money and investment strategies of Jim and Lorraine Conaway. With over 44 years of combined experience, the Conaways are here to educate you on how to be smart with your money. Securities offered through J.P. Turner & Company, LLC. Member SIPC.
No sooner done than said on AM 1050 KCAA.
Thank you for joining us, America. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Adam's with us in San Antonio, Texas. Hi, Adam. How are you?
Hello, Dave. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
Doing great. I have a student loan for $16,000, which I've had for about 20 years. It was in default, so I took the route to get into a forgiveness program to get out of default. That was the only way the government would help me out, or in order to make payments and to get it out of default. I make $48,000 a year. I used to make $20,000, and my payments are minimal, and I've been paying on it for about a year. Now that I'm eligible to get out of default, or I'm out of default, I can make my own payments through the loan agency.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't know with the oil business the way it is. I have a a job that I'll have for quite some time, I'm hoping. But with the oil business the way it is, I guess my question is, should I get out of the student forgiveness program and do it on my own?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
Okay.
Your student loan forgiveness program is a 10-year program, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. It's only $16,000, dude. This thing's been on your back for years. It's time to get it off your back.
And I guess if I I understand you said to get out of it, but what if I paid more? And how would that affect it if I paid more out of pocket? And
yeah, you pay it off. I want you to pay it off in like 2 years or 1 year.
Okay.
Can you get some OT still?
We're running about 45 hours at that, 5 hours overtime a week if that.
That's about as much as you can get, though?
Yeah, at the moment.
I mean, if you can get more, I'd just take a bunch of OT and knock this thing out.
Okay.
If you can crank it up, knock it out in a year.
Okay.
So think about it, $1,600 a month for 10 months, and this thing's out of your life forever.
Okay.
Just do the math like that. I mean, $800 a month for 20 months. Not even 2 years, and you're done forever. And you can do that if you get on a written budget, make the money that you have behave, stay out of the restaurants, cut back on a vacation. Why? Because I want to get rid of this thing. It's not a pet.
I got you.
And the good news is it's not $160,000. It's only $16,000.
Exactly. All right. Yeah, I just kind of wanted some advice on that to see what the best route was, and I appreciate it.
Just hit it hard and hit it often, and just be free. You want to be free. 10 years? Man, no thanks. That's a long time. Elizabeth is with us in New York. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Good. How are you?
Better
Thanks
than I
for taking
deserve.
my call.
Sure. How can I help?
There's a surprise. No. I was just wondering, kind of just for some general advice. My husband and I are going to be looking to buy a house in the next... We're probably going to be ready in about a year. We're going to be out of debt in about a month, it looks like.
Yay!
Yeah, we're really excited. But, I guess what we're kind of wondering is how you go about, buying a house that needs a lot of work that's a lesser mortgage versus, a bigger mortgage that the house is, perfect and you don't need to do anything to it. Obviously we're just kind of averse to the whole mortgage thing or to the whole debt thing at this point. So we're just not sure. And kind of the part of it that makes it a little bit more complex for us is my husband's income is kind of, I guess, a little bit variable. He has his own business and it's doing really well right now, but we don't want to put ourselves in a position where we're kind of stuck with this big mortgage. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you have children?
Yes, we have two boys, but we hope to have more.
What ages?
Almost 3.
And what does your husband do for a living?
He has a web design business.
Okay, all right. No, you don't need to buy a fixer-upper. When you're running your own business and have 2 little babies in the house, the last thing you need is another project. You don't have the margin to do it. It'll never get fixed up. And you'll be sitting there in the middle of a rehab 3 years from now hating your husband. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just buy something less expensive. And, of course, our guideline, our rule of thumb is to put the mortgage on a 15%. I can't even talk. A 15-year fixed-rate mortgage where the payment is no more than a fourth of your take-home pay. If you'll do that, you'll leave room in your budget and just buy something modest that does not need a bunch of work. When you're running and opening a brand new business and you have little babies, the last thing you need is a rehab. Rehabs are a pain in the butt. I do them all the time. I've got a crew. We work on houses and properties. I buy property. I like working on property. Not personally. I like making it happen, though. But you don't want to be living in your fixer-upper with little babies in a new business. It's going to take all the fun out of your life, really. Mike is with us in Idaho. Hey, Mike, welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I got 2 questions for you. I just started recently listening to your program about 2 months ago. I'm a traveling salesman for a building supply company, wholesale distributor. And the other day I heard you reference cigarettes and credit cards. Basically, you compared them to both being the same thing. So I'm a little nervous to ask you this question here. So I have a credit card that I use for all my expenses for work. It's not provided for by my company. It's my personal credit card. I charge on it, and then I turn my expenses every 2 weeks, and I pay the card off.
Yeah.
My question for you is because I put my fuel on there and I do get reimbursed for my mileage, typically I come out a little bit ahead each time I do an expense. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Should I be doing this out of my checking account and get rid of the credit card?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And here's why. You're not realizing that you're taking risk. The chance that it's a fairly low chance, but there's always a chance that there's something that goes afoul with your expense account or with the company you work for. And if you don't get that expense check back, you get to eat this money.
Sure.
Because
I've always thought about that, and that's kind of why I've been nervous, dipping out.
And you get your mileage regardless of how the bill is racked up.
Okay.
Mileage comes to you. They pay you based on the miles you drive the car, right?
Right.
And that, if you pay cash for it, if you use a debit card, if you use a credit card, you still get the same exact check for mileage.
Exactly. Okay.
And so the use of a credit card is really not part of that piece of the discussion. The only piece of the discussion is the actual expenses that you're charging that you're going to get reimbursed for. But mileage is a separate calculation from that.
Okay.
Is that correct?
No, that's exactly how it works. I mean, It all comes in one system. It's Concor that we use as a company, but it all comes back in one. Basically, just goes right into my checking account, and then
truthfully, if you're with a big company, the likelihood of this causing you a big problem with them going broke and not paying you your check or something is fairly low. I mean, I'm not so crazy. I think your company is going to go broke all the time, but I have seen it happen in the years of doing coaching, so I know it actually exists. What the more likely scenario is that you run something on that card that is not expensible, that can't be turned in, that really turns into a personal expenditure. And I will tell you that over the years of coaching, folks, that well over 50% of people that run these accounts, even if they're kind of nerdy like me, I'm kind of a nerd with math, I think you might be, you're real careful. Even in those cases, you can look up and go, God, man, I got $1,000 on this card that I really couldn't turn in as an expense, and it happened $50 at a time. And so,
I've never been in debt, Dave. So
I thought so. Yeah.
I mean, I don't ever. Yeah. I mean, I don't ever put anything on there that I can't expense.
Okay. All right. But you see what I'm saying? That is the more likely scenario than your company going broke.
Right.
Truthfully.
That makes sense.
And the good news about that variable is that's a variable you control.
Right.
And in your case, I think we're pretty safe with that. In my case, I would be pretty safe because I'm so OCD about this stuff. I'm just like you are. I'm just freaked out. I'm careful about it. And so were I running your plan, I wouldn't make that mistake. But, I mean, we run debit cards here on expenses and have people in our company traveling. And sometimes they'll run something up on that card and then realize, you know what, that was my I can't put my personal shampoo when I'm on the road on the company debit card. And so they turn it in, and they're having to make up, they're having to give us a check then, because that money's gone. Or it's deducted from their other things. So just normal people do this, is what I'm saying. So just be real careful and be thoughtful. Thanks for the call. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.